The Galactic Council convenes in the heart of the Nebula Citadel, a sprawling station built among the stars where the most powerful beings of the universe gather to discuss matters of great importance. The Council is made up of the elite leaders of the galaxy's ancient races whose civilizations stretch across eons, and now they are focused on a rising threat. Earth, a once insignificant planet, has begun to show signs of rapid technological growth. And it's not just their technology that has the Council concerned, it's the sheer unpredictability of humanity itself. As the alien delegates arrive in the vast chamber, their ships hovering silently outside the Council station, the leaders take their places, each species unique in appearance, their eyes glowing with wisdom and age, their minds sharp and calculating. The atmosphere is tense. The debates will soon begin, and the topic of the day is Earth, its sudden leaps in technology, its mysterious and unexplained advancements. The Council members exchange uneasy glances, for while Earth is still a primitive species in their eyes, there is something about them that they cannot ignore. Their history shows countless conflicts, internal wars, and a long struggle for survival. And now, despite their youth, they are reaching for the stars, and the galaxy begins to take notice. Some species view Earth as a potential ally, while others see a rising threat. But no one can deny that the human race has begun to catch the attention of the galaxy's power brokers. Among the delegates is High Elder Zoreth of the Frelians, a race whose telepathic abilities have allowed them to rule for centuries, their mastery of communication and strategy making them formidable opponents in any diplomatic or military arena. Zoreth is particularly concerned with Earth's technological progression and the strange rumors circulating about the planet. Some say they have discovered a new form of energy, others whisper that they have unearthed forgotten technologies from their distant past. But Zoreth does not trust rumors, he needs proof. Another delegate is Chancellor Xivor of the Tyrians, a race of bioengineered beings whose form is as fluid as it is lethal. Their collective intelligence is unmatched, and their ability to adapt is legendary. Xivor has always been a pragmatist, viewing Earth as a mere curiosity, something that would either burn itself out or fall into line with the more established civilizations. But even Xivor cannot deny that Earth's advancements seem to be accelerating at an alarming rate. The debate begins, and the mood in the chamber shifts from cautious optimism to growing concern. Some argue that Earth poses no immediate threat, while others suggest that humanity's sudden rise could be the beginning of something more dangerous. The Council is split on how to proceed. Zoreth stands at the center of the debate, his voice calm yet firm. As he speaks of his concerns, he warns that Earth is not to be underestimated, that their technology is developing at a rate that could outpace even the oldest of civilizations if left unchecked. He suggests a show of force, a warning to remind humanity that they are not yet ready to play with the galactic giants. Xivor counters Zoreth's fears, suggesting that the best course of action is to engage diplomatically. Earth has never encountered a truly advanced civilization and may be unaware of the consequences of their actions. It is possible that they simply do not know their place in the universe, and a peaceful approach could yield the best results. As the Council members continue to debate the fate of Earth, none can predict what the humans will do next. The tension in the room grows thicker with every passing moment, as the future of a young planet teeters on the edge of a decision that could change the galaxy forever. The massive fleet of alien ships looms silently in the darkness of space, their sleek metallic surfaces gleaming under the light of distant stars. The ships are not just symbols of power, but also of authority. The commanders aboard each vessel carry with them centuries of experience in galactic affairs, yet as they approach Earth, their confidence begins to waver. The fleet consists of some of the most formidable warships ever constructed, their engines glowing with unnatural power, their weapons capable of reducing entire cities to dust. Yet, as they draw closer to Earth, the readings on their scanners become erratic. Something is interfering with their instruments. The crew members exchange confused glances as their screens flicker and data streams distort. In the command center of the lead ship, High Commander Zoreth of the Scythrians taps his fingers anxiously against his console, his eyes narrowed in concentration. His species is known for their tactical brilliance, their ships equipped with advanced cloaking technology and near-indestructible shields. But this feels different. Something unknown stirs within Earth's atmosphere, and it is not just their technology that is causing the disturbance. The alien fleet is here to observe Earth's advancements to determine whether they are a threat or simply a passing phase. The Council's orders are clear: the humans must be assessed, and if they pose a danger, their future actions must be curtailed. But none of the fleet's commanders can anticipate the spectacle that is about to unfold. As the ships move deeper into Earth's orbit, the fleet slows its approach, hovering just outside the planet's atmosphere. The alien captains stare in awe at the sight before them. Massive storms rage across the surface of Earth, swirling clouds of energy, crackling with raw power. Thunderous lightning strikes pierce the sky, as if the planet itself is waking up from a long slumber. The fleet's sensors go haywire once again, as a strange energy pulse emanates from the planet's core. It is unlike anything they have ever encountered, a vibration so ancient and powerful that it sends ripples across the fabric of space-time. The very air around them seems to tremble, as if some unseen force is watching them. In the heart of the fleet, the alien commanders exchange nervous words, their voices barely audible over the hum of their ship's engines. They had expected to see primitive weaponry, perhaps some crude attempts at space travel, but instead they are witnessing something entirely different. The potential of this young species is beyond what they had imagined. Then, without warning, the sky above Earth begins to glow. A deep crimson light fills the heavens as something enormous rises from the depths of the oceans, something so large that it dwarfs the alien ships surrounding the planet. It is a massive structure, one that had been hidden away for millennia beneath the surface of Earth. Its shape is both organic and mechanical, a fusion of ancient designs and unknown technology. The alien fleet watches in stunned silence as the ship rises slowly, its surface reflecting the swirling clouds and distant stars. Its sheer scale defies comprehension. It seems as though the very fabric of space is warping around it, as if the ship itself is bending reality to its will. High Commander Zorat's heart races as he watches the colossal form of the Dragon Soul battleship emerge from the depths. The ship's surface gleams with a strange energy, pulsating with life, as if it is alive, its core glowing a fiery red, its power radiating outwards like the heartbeat of a long-forgotten god. In the command center of the lead ship, the crew members stare at the screens in disbelief. The Earth they had once thought of as insignificant now appears as a dangerous unknown. The entire fleet is paralyzed by the sight. They had underestimated humanity's potential, and now they are about to learn just how wrong they were. As the Dragon Soul battleship continues to emerge from the depths of Earth's oceans, the alien fleet watches in stunned silence, unable to comprehend what they are seeing. The ship's immense size is beyond anything they've encountered. Its hull gleams like polished obsidian, etched with intricate patterns and designs that seem to pulse with life. The air around it shimmers with the energy that radiates from the core, an energy so ancient and powerful that it seems to distort the very space around it. For a moment, the entire fleet seems to be held in suspension, unable to move or respond, as though the universe itself is holding its breath. High Commander Zorath's mind races. His species, the Cythrians, are masters of warfare, having conquered entire star systems with their advanced fleets and ruthless tactics. Yet nothing in their vast experience could have prepared them for what they were witnessing now. The Dragon Soul battleship was no mere creation of a young and struggling civilization. It was a force of nature, a living entity forged from the planet itself, pulsing with power older than any of the council members had dared to imagine. Zorath's first instinct is to command his fleet to fall back, but something holds him in place, an unspoken awareness that they are no longer in control of the situation. The battleship rises slowly, its massive form breaking the surface of the ocean like an ancient beast awakening from a long slumber. The water cascades off its surface in torrents, as if the ship itself is defying the natural laws of the planet. A deep, resonating hum begins to emanate from the core, reverberating through space like the sound of an enormous drumbeat. Each pulse carries a weight, a presence that feels as though it is not just coming from the ship, but from the very planet itself. From the command deck of the lead alien ship, Zorath's grip tightens on the armrest of his seat. His mind begins to work overtime, trying to calculate what this could mean for their mission. Was this a weapon? A defense system? A relic from a forgotten age? He had no answers, only the gnawing feeling that they had underestimated Earth's potential on a scale that was almost incomprehensible. Across the fleet, other commanders react in their own ways. Some stare in disbelief, unsure whether this is real or some kind of illusion. Others exchange rapid whispers, unable to formulate a plan in the face of such overwhelming power. The alien ships, armed with weapons that could destroy entire planets, now seem small and fragile in comparison to the sheer scale of the Dragon Soul battleship. They had come to Earth thinking they were the masters of the galaxy, and yet here they were, faced with something they couldn't even begin to understand. On Earth's surface, the sight of the battleship rising from the ocean causes a ripple of awe and fear among humanity. The sudden appearance of such a monumental craft stirs something deep within the collective consciousness of the planet. The Dragon Soul battleship is not merely a symbol of human advancement. It is a symbol of humanity's survival, of the triumph of a species that had risen from the ashes of war and conflict to claim its place among the stars. It is a living testament to humanity's resilience, a force that cannot be ignored. In the alien fleet, Commander Xiver of the Tyrians watches with a growing sense of unease. The Tyrians had always believed in diplomacy, in negotiation and subtle influence. But this was not something they could negotiate with. The power emanating from the battleship is undeniable, and it's clear that whatever humanity has unleashed from the depths of their planet is something far beyond any of their understanding. For a moment, Xiver wonders if this is the beginning of the end for the alien fleets, but he quickly dismisses the thought. No, this is not the end. It is the beginning of something entirely new, something that no one in the galaxy has ever seen before. The question now is not whether Earth is a threat, but whether the rest of the galaxy is ready for the rise of a new power. As the Dragon Soul battleship fully emerges from the ocean depths, the alien fleet drifts in stunned silence, watching the impossible unfold before them. The sheer size of the ship is incomprehensible. Its massive hull stretches far beyond their visual range, casting a shadow across the entire fleet. The deep crimson glow of its core pulses in rhythm with the distant, thunderous storms churning above, the air crackling with an unnatural energy. The alien commanders, experts in space warfare and tactics, have never witnessed anything like this. Their eyes, usually filled with cold precision, now reflect growing doubt, fear, and confusion. High Commander Zorath stands rigid in his seat, his mind racing through the possibilities. The battleship's form seems to defy all logic, its design a blend of organic curves and metallic edges, an enigmatic fusion of technology, and something older, more primal. This was not the work of a young species experimenting with primitive weapons or clumsy engineering. This was a weapon that surpassed anything in the known universe. Zorath's gut tells him that this is not just a ship, it's a force that, if left unchecked, could change the balance of power across the galaxy. Commander Xiver of the Tyrians watches the spectacle from his own command deck, his usual calm demeanor shattered by the magnitude of what he is witnessing. The Tyrians were masters of adaptation and diplomacy, but no amount of negotiation could prepare them for the sight of a ship that seemed alive. Its surface ripples with energy, glowing veins running like blood through the ship's structure, radiating power that stirs something ancient within the core of the Tyrians themselves. This isn't just technology. This is something older, something beyond comprehension. Zorath breaks the silence with a cold, calculated command. Deploy reconnaissance drones. We need to understand what we're dealing with. His voice cracks like thunder, filled with urgency. He cannot afford to make a mistake. Earth's power, now so evident, could no longer be ignored. The drones launch from each ship, small metallic devices designed to gather data and return unscathed. They approach the Dragon Soul battleship, but as they near the ship's energy field, they begin to malfunction. One by one, They explode in a burst of energy, as if the ship's mere presence repels them. Zorath watches in growing horror as his fleet's tools of observation are rendered useless, as if the ship itself is alive, rejecting their attempts to understand it. Their technology. It's beyond anything we've ever seen, Zorath mutters under his breath, his mind grappling with the implications. This isn't just a weapon. It's a statement. Humanity has just declared its arrival as a power on the galactic stage, and they have done so in a way that no one, not even the Council, could have predicted. The energy crackling from the ship is not just destructive. It feels almost sentient, as if the battleship itself is observing them, judging them. The aliens' greatest weapon, their fleet, is now completely outclassed by this uncharted force. On the surface of Earth, humanity is beginning to comprehend the magnitude of what is happening. The appearance of the Dragon Soul battleship signals not just an awakening. It signals humanity's place among the stars. But what humanity doesn't know is that its rise is being watched by every corner of the galaxy. The galaxy's oldest and most powerful civilizations are watching with bated breath, waiting to see whether Earth's newfound power will destroy them all or offer them an opportunity for something far greater. The alien commanders look at each other, and for the first time in their long ancient lives, they share a common thought. They are no longer in control. The galaxy, once theirs to govern, is now a place where humanity has a seat at the table. A seat they didn't ask for, a seat they earned. The balance of power in the universe has shifted, and no one knows how it will play out next. The only certainty is that Earth and the Dragon Soul battleship will never be ignored again. The Dragon Soul battleship pulses with an energy so ancient, so powerful, that it seems to hum in the very air around it. From the heart of the alien fleet, the commanders watch in stunned disbelief as the ship hovers in the atmosphere, its core glowing brighter with each passing moment. The light is not just a visual phenomenon. It radiates an almost tangible weight, like a heartbeat felt deep in their chests. The pulse resonates through the very fabric of space, sending waves of power that ripple outward, distorting time and space around the ship. The alien fleet, once proud and imposing, now feels insignificant in comparison to the presence that Earth has just unleashed. High Commander Zorath clenches his fists, his mind working frantically to process the implications of this development. He had assumed that humanity's rise would be gradual, that their technological advancements would be tempered by their inexperience. But this was no ordinary leap forward. This was a revelation. Humanity had unlocked something far beyond anything the Council had imagined, a force so deep and primal that it defied explanation. Zorath, a veteran of countless battles, has never felt so vulnerable. He can feel the weight of the moment pressing down on him, as if the very universe itself is watching him and his fleet. Then, without warning, the Dragon Soul battleship speaks. The sound that emerges from the ship is not a voice in the traditional sense. It is not a simple vibration carried by airwaves. It is a deep, resonating hum that seems to come from the core of the ship itself, a sound that reverberates through the alien ships and the very fabric of space around them. The pitch is low and powerful, and yet it carries a strange clarity. The sound feels ancient, like a language that predates all other life in the galaxy. It is a sound that resonates within the minds of all who hear it, bypassing language, bypassing logic, and connecting directly to something primal in their subconscious. The sound grows louder, more intense. The commanders on the alien ships are gripped by a sensation they cannot explain: fear, awe, and something else. It is as if the Dragon Soul battleship is communicating with them on a level they cannot comprehend. It is not a call to arms. It is not a warning or a threat. It is a statement, a declaration. The ship itself is not just a vessel. It is the voice of Earth. It speaks, and the galaxy listens. The alien commanders exchange frantic glances. Zorath feels his heart race. He had expected this encounter to be diplomatic, perhaps a show of force from humanity to make a statement of their strength. But now it is clear that Earth is not just a player in this galactic stage. They are a force of nature. The elders, The Council, the ancient species who have long ruled the stars, all of them are now faced with a new reality. Earth is no longer a backwater planet. Earth has a weapon that cannot be ignored, a power that cannot be outmatched. Chancellor Xivor of the Tyrians, typically a being of calm and reason, now finds himself at a loss for words. He watches the light from the Dragon Soul battleship flood the space around him, and for a moment, it feels as if everything he has ever known about power is suddenly irrelevant. The Tyrians have mastered bioengineering, manipulation of energy, and warfare. But this is something they cannot manipulate, cannot control. It is something older, something far beyond their understanding. And then, as if to emphasize the point, the Dragon Soul battleship unleashes a wave of energy. It is not an attack. Not yet. The wave simply radiates outward, expanding through space at a speed that dwarfs anything the fleet's ships can react to. The energy doesn't destroy anything, but it reshapes the fabric of space itself. It bends light, it alters gravity, it distorts time. The fleet, though powerful, is nothing more than a shadow in comparison to the living force of the ship. The commanders feel as though they are standing at the edge of an abyss, staring into the unknown. Zorath feels the full weight of the moment. The galaxy is changing. It is no longer a place ruled by the ancient powers and their overwhelming strength. A new player has emerged. And this player is not merely a threat. This player has the power to reshape the universe itself. The Dragon Soul battleship, silent once more, hovers above Earth, its core pulsing with slow, deliberate beats. The message is clear. Humanity is here, and they are not afraid. The alien fleet remains frozen in the shadow of the Dragon Soul battleship, its immense form casting a dark silhouette against the backdrop of space. The energy from the ship pulses, now a constant hum that reverberates through the very fabric of the universe. The alien commanders, once certain of their dominance, now feel the weight of something entirely new pressing against them, challenging everything they thought they knew about power, control, and even the laws of nature itself. High Commander Zorath grips the armrests of his chair, his fingers white with tension. His mind races, calculating their options, but there is nothing that makes sense. Every military strategy, every weapon in his arsenal, seems insignificant before the might of the Dragon Soul battleship. This is no longer a situation that can be resolved through force or negotiation. The Council's plan to intimidate humanity into submission now feels laughable. They had thought Earth to be a fledgling species, ripe for exploitation. Now they have awoken something far beyond their understanding. Zorath takes a deep breath, forcing himself to calm his racing thoughts. "We need to act," he declares, his voice hoarse, the desperation barely hidden beneath his authority. "Prepare for evasive maneuvers. If we can't scan it, we'll engage it directly. We can't let it reach full capacity." Commander Xivor of the Tyrians, usually a voice of reason, now feels a cold dread creeping over him. The Tyrians' greatest strength is their adaptability, but this ship, the Dragon Soul battleship, offers no clear means of adaptation. The energy it exudes is not just raw power, it is something alive, something that speaks to the very essence of the galaxy itself. The moment the Tyrian ships move in, they know they will face something far more dangerous than any weapon they've encountered. But they must try. The alternative is unthinkable. "Commander, we can't just sit here," Xivor urges. "We need to understand what we're facing, or we risk everything. We have to strike first, before we're overwhelmed." Zorath nods grimly, knowing full well that this decision could be the last one they ever make. The entire fleet begins to power up their weapons, readying their most devastating attacks. But there's one lingering doubt in every commander's mind. Even if their weapons can penetrate the battleship's defenses, would it be enough? What if this ship is more than just a vessel? What if it is a living organism, as ancient as the stars themselves? The orders are given, and the fleet moves forward with grim determination. The first wave of firepower is unleashed, a torrent of energy aimed squarely at the Dragon Soul battleship. The sheer volume of weaponry is enough to obliterate a small moon, yet the ship remains unfazed. The energy surges from its core, enveloping the incoming blasts with a radiant shield that glows bright against the darkness of space. The weapons of the alien fleet are absorbed by the ship's energy field, redirected harmlessly into the void. A collective gasp echoes across the alien command decks. There is no explosion, no ripple of damage. The battleship simply absorbs the attack, as though it were nothing more than a gust of wind. Zorath's mind races again. They had anticipated resistance, but not like this. This ship is not just a target. It is a force of nature, an immovable object that bends the very laws of physics. What could possibly be done to defeat it? What weapon could they use to break through its defenses? The alien fleet regroups, hesitating. The commanders are now unsure of their next step. Zorath's resolve begins to crack, his once unshakable confidence slipping as the full weight of their situation settles in. The galaxy's most advanced civilizations, the warlords of countless star systems, stand at the edge of a precipice, staring into the unknown, their weapons useless against the power of Earth. Then, without warning, the Dragon Soul battleship moves. It is slow at first, almost deliberate, but with each passing moment, it accelerates. The ships of the alien fleet scramble to reposition, but it is already too late. The battleship releases a pulse from its core, a shockwave of pure energy that shatters the calm of space itself. The blast races toward the fleet, faster than light, and before any of the alien ships can react, they are caught in the wave. The shockwave washes over them, distorting their shields, tearing apart their systems, and shaking the very core of their vessels. It isn't just the power of the blast that overwhelms them. It is the sheer force of will behind it. The wave hits them like a tidal wave, unstoppable and absolute. In a matter of moments, the once mighty fleet is scattered, disabled, and crippled. The alien ships, once proud and unyielding, now drift helplessly in space, their weapons powerless, their crews struggling to maintain control. High Commander Zorath watches, his face pale, as the realization dawns upon him. They have lost, not to force, not to a weapon, but to something far older, far more profound. They have lost to the will of Earth. The silence that follows the devastation is almost deafening. In the wreckage of the alien fleet, only the distant hum of the Dragon Soul battleship fills the void of space. The shockwave that had torn through the alien ships lingers in the space around them, the distortion of reality still palpable in the aftermath. The once mighty vessels of the Cythrians, the Tyrians, and other alien factions lie scattered, their systems crippled, their defenses obliterated. The battle has ended, but the consequences are only beginning to unfold. High Commander Zorath stands in the command center of his flagship, his eyes glued to the view screens. The once pristine fleet is now in chaos, with several ships drifting aimlessly, their engines dead, their communications severed. Some ships have been completely destroyed, their remains floating in the black void, fragments scattered like shattered glass. The damage is beyond anything Zorath could have anticipated. The alien forces, renowned for their technological superiority and ruthless strategies, have been rendered helpless by a single decisive strike. Zorath's breath is shallow as he fights to regain control of his emotions. He knows that they are not simply defeated, they are humiliated. Earth's power has been revealed in its full, terrifying form, and it is clear now that this was no coincidence. The Dragon Soul battleship, this living weapon, has been hidden beneath the planet's oceans for millennia, awaiting the moment to rise. And now that it has, the galaxy's most powerful civilizations stand in its shadow. Commander Xivor, who had been silent since the attack, steps forward, his face a mask of disbelief. What are we supposed to do now, Commander? How do we even begin to respond to this? Zorath's gaze hardens, his voice barely above a whisper. We don't respond. We retreat. We've underestimated Earth. This is not just a failed mission. It's a revelation. The galaxy's balance of power has shifted, and we are not equipped to handle what we've just encountered. Sedwar opens his mouth to argue, but he knows that there is nothing to say. Their weapons, their technology, their armies, all of it pales in comparison to the power that Earth has unleashed. The Tyrians, who had prided themselves on their ability to manipulate bioengineering and energy, are powerless before the Dragon Soul battleship. The Cythrians, whose fleets had swept through entire star systems, now stand at the mercy of a species they had dismissed as primitive. Zorath turns away from the view screens, his mind reeling. He feels the weight of the decision upon him. The Council, the most powerful beings in the galaxy, had sent him to Earth with the goal of assessing its potential and neutralizing any threat. Instead, he has witnessed the rise of a new power, one that he cannot even begin to fathom. There is no diplomacy here, no treaties to be signed, no negotiations to be had. The rules of the galaxy no longer apply. Earth has become a force that cannot be ignored. Meanwhile, on Earth, the news of the alien fleet's defeat begins to spread. People all over the planet watch in awe as reports flood in. The media outlets are filled with images of the Dragon Soul battleship, the towering living weapon that has now made humanity a central player on the galactic stage. Some view it with fear, uncertain of what the future holds. Others, however, are filled with a sense of triumph. For the first time in history, humanity is no longer a fragile species fighting for survival. It is a force to be reckoned with. The leaders of Earth, now united in the wake of the alien threat, convene in secret. They are acutely aware of the significance of this moment. Humanity's rise is not just a victory. It is a turning point. The galaxy will never be the same again, and Earth must prepare for what lies ahead. The Dragon Soul battleship may have defeated the alien fleet, but the next question is, what comes next? Back in space, Zorath watches as his fleet retreats, crippled and humiliated. He knows that this is not the end of their story. The Council will not take kindly to such a crushing failure. There will be consequences, and Earth's role in the galaxy will be scrutinized by every faction in existence. But for now, as the alien ships limp back into the depths of space, one thing is clear to Zorath. Earth has changed everything. Humanity is no longer a side note in the history of the galaxy. They are the story now. The retreating alien fleet drifts slowly away from Earth, their damaged ships limping through space, barely able to keep formation. The once untouchable empires that had dominated the galaxy for eons now look weak and broken in comparison to the mysterious power that humanity has unleashed. High Commander Zorath, who had once been the embodiment of authority and resolve, now feels the weight of impending doom on his shoulders. Earth's Dragon Soul battleship is not just a weapon. It is a harbinger of change, a sign that the old order is crumbling. Back on Earth, the people are still reeling from the revelations of the past few days. The sight of the Dragon Soul battleship rising from the depths of the ocean and effortlessly defeating the alien fleet has shaken humanity to its core. Some view it as a symbol of humanity's strength, a sign that Earth is no longer to be underestimated. Others, however, are filled with uncertainty and fear, wondering what the consequences of such power will be. They may have defeated an alien fleet, but who else is watching? What will the galactic powers do now that Earth has emerged as a force? The world's leaders gather in secret, meeting in underground bunkers and secure facilities. The political landscape has shifted dramatically. Nations that were once rivals now share a common interest in understanding and harnessing the power of the Dragon Soul battleship. The United Nations convenes a special council with representatives from every major country on Earth. The discussions are heated, with tensions rising as various factions debate how best to move forward. We cannot ignore the implications of this, President Elena Rodriguez, the leader of the United States, says firmly. This battleship, this weapon, is a symbol of power unlike anything the galaxy has ever seen. We must understand it, control it, and use it to protect our planet. But at what cost? asks Prime Minister Hiroshi Tanaka of Japan. What if we are not the only ones who have noticed? The alien fleets that attacked us, they won't stop. If anything, they'll come back stronger, angrier. We may have defeated them today, but what happens tomorrow? Chancellor Amelia Johnson of the European Union speaks up, her voice steady but filled with concern. We can't ignore the risks, but we can't allow fear to control us either. The Dragon Soul battleship is not just a weapon. It is a message. Humanity is no longer a bystander in the galaxy. We've stepped into the arena, and now we must decide how we'll play the game. Across the room, General Malik Jackson, the head of Earth's unified military command, leans forward. We've seen the power of the Dragon Soul battleship. It is not just a weapon. It's a living force. If we can harness even a fraction of that power, we could defend ourselves against any threat. But we must be cautious. We don't know its full capabilities, and we don't understand its true purpose. The debate rages on for hours, with no easy answers. But one thing is clear. Humanity is no longer just a fledgling species struggling to survive. They are players in a much larger game, one that spans the stars. The question now is not whether they will face future threats, but how they will navigate the complex, dangerous political landscape of the galaxy. Meanwhile, in the vast reaches of space, the alien fleet is regrouping. The damage inflicted upon them by the Dragon Soul battleship is severe, but not fatal. The fleets are limping back to their homeworlds, their commanders silent as they process their defeat. Zorath, still haunted by the crushing realization that Earth is no longer a backwater world, contacts the Council. We failed, Zorath admits. The humans have something far greater than we ever anticipated. The Dragon Soul battleship is a force unlike anything we've seen before. His report is met with a cold silence from the Council. Then the voice of the highest-ranking elder, an ancient being whose race has ruled the galaxy for millennia, responds with a single, chilling command. Prepare. The galaxy will not tolerate the rise of Earth. We will deal with this threat. In time. Zorath shudders as the connection cuts out. He knows that the Council's decision is inevitable. Earth will be hunted. But even they cannot ignore the truth. Humanity has unlocked something far greater than anyone could have imagined. And whether the galaxy accepts it or not, Earth has already begun its rise as a force to be reckoned with. Back on Earth, as the world grapples with the newfound knowledge of their place in the galaxy, a new dawn rises. The Dragon Soul battleship remains stationed in the skies, a living testament to humanity's newfound power. Earth is no longer a side player. It is now a force, one that will shape the future of the galaxy in ways no one can predict. The universe is watching, and humanity has only just begun to write its story.